asking me, they say, Moj, how old are you? Well, I am old, man. You know why I'm old? Because of road years. Let me tell you about road years. You know, your mom, she stays home, she makes lasagna, she's watching Dallas. She ages like 1 year and 365 days. I'm out on the road in a van playing to like sheep farmers in Iowa who've had too much alcohol. I aged 7 years, man. So that's why, you know, you ever wonder why Mick Jagger looks a lot like Barney Fife? That's because he's been on the road his whole life, man. He's just getting old. I'm gonna take a little nap now. See y'all later. Oh, God. I just say, time is the road. With a girl and owl and a big head.
To fathers about the Kodak Color Watch system.
A true test of dadhood. You've been entrusted with precious rolls of Kodak film. The family is counting on old Dad to get great developing, so you look for the Kodak Color Watch seal. Color Watch means great developing. This seal means every picture is printed on Kodak paper, so your photos will look wonderful, and your son will let you borrow the car. Kodak Color Watch for great developing. You're going to thank me for it.
Or try caffeine-free Diet Coke. Same great taste as Diet Coke without the caffeine.
Just for the taste of me, Diet Coke.
Rolling Stone magazine's 20 years of rock and roll will continue in a moment.
Norman Rockwell's America.
You want to trade sides?
Life as we remembered.
There's so much I don't even know about you.
Life as we wish it could be.
All you have to know is you're not alone.
Eva Marie Saint, Jason Robards, Norman Rockwell's Breaking Home Ties, Thanksgiving night.
This is a News Center 13 update.
Good evening. Stories in the news tonight include consideration of a proposed food bank on West Avenue in the city. City Council voted approval tonight to allow the use of a former Wegmans store for that purpose. The Parent and Town Board also met tonight, voting to provide funding in a controversial school busing decision for Fairport students. Now this.
The most comfortable shoes in the world, in all sizes and widths, professionally fit to your foot. We're the foot comfort specialists.
Also tonight, we'll preview the Junior League's annual Festival of Trees. Join us for that story and all the news at 11.
13 News Update was brought to you by UV Shoes.
Super fries from McCain for the strong, silent type.
Criminal or victim? A special report tonight at 11.
If you buy a Kodak Ultralife battery for your garage door opener today, the next time you change it could be the year 2001. Kodak introduces gold-tipped Ultralife lithium batteries. Go for the gold.
You're too young.
I'll show them.
Get a crack!
It's Max.
Roman.
Cokologists.
Your numbers are growing because New Coke has a better, more modern taste than
Pepsi.
Uh-oh, you said the P word.
Now, can I join?
If it's yay, I stay. No, I go.
Max! Sure, you can join.
Can he be president? Catch the wave. Coke.
Kodak's K12.
It's all you need is 35 for pictures that just come alive.
35 millimeter.
It focuses, advances, even rewinds by itself.
Kodak's smallest 35.
Great shot.
Piece of cake.
Next Tuesday, Addison gets his big break.
It's better than Space Man.
Have you stopped to consider the consequences of murdering a major television personality?
A blessed defense, say for one niggly bother. The guy's not certain he's the baby's father.
I'm ashamed to be in the same chain gang with you.
It's the new Moonlighting.
Just ahead tonight, we'll update developments at the Atlanta prison.
Also, will Rochester City Council approve the food bank?
In our special report, why this convicted criminal could be considered a victim.
And you'll see a festival of trees from the Riverside Convention Center.
Those stories, the forecast, and sports just ahead.
Well, Jimmy's finally asleep.
Good. Hope he's feeling better tomorrow.
So how does the budget look? You gonna be okay?
Oh, we'll be fine. It sure is funny about these things. Just when we saved enough for Jimmy's braces,
I know.
now we need a new refrigerator.
Really couldn't have happened at a worse time.
Well, we're just gonna have to be real careful that we don't pay any more than we should.
Lechmere, the best price in town and more. Guaranteed. Lechmere, now open.
Tis a night of family, friends, and freshenettes. Cordon Negro Brut. The black bottle bubbly.
Toyota's 30th anniversary celebration days are almost over at your Toyota dealer. But you still have time to save up to $1,000 on extra value option packages. Save now on selected Corollas while they last. Save now on selected Celica coupes and liftbacks. Hurry in for free options on selected Tercels or get free options on a limited edition 4x2 or 4x4. Save big on options and even more on the deal, but you've got to come in now. Toyota's 30th anniversary celebration ends soon. See your Toyota dealer now.
From WOKR, Rochester, this is News Center 13 with Don Alhart, Diana Whiteman, meteorologist Bill Peterson, and Doug Embledge on sports.
Good evening. I'm Wanda Miller. Diana's on vacation this week. A handshake in Geneva today marking completion of a treaty to do away with intermediate-range nuclear weapons.
Part of that treaty will compel the destruction of more than 300 U.S. missiles in Europe and the dismantling of almost 700 Soviet missiles. Secretary of State Schultz and Soviet Foreign Minister Shevardnadze announced that agreement today with that symbolic handshake.
We've now completed agreement on all of the outstanding INF issues. All that remains is some treaty language which others will be able to do.
This is a historic task that we have now accomplished through joint efforts.
Each side would have the right to monitor compliance. The next step now is for the U.S. Senate to approve the treaty. President Reagan is hopeful the required two-thirds majority will be forthcoming.
Tensions have mounted tonight at 2 federal prisons where Cuban inmates are rioting. In Atlanta, one inmate told a local TV reporter that everybody is gonna die in this place if authorities decide to storm the prison. One hostage was freed today. Another 75 are being held captive. In Oakdale, Louisiana, where the rioting began, 2 of the 28 hostages were brought to the gates to show they were safe. The prison warden is blaming the government for not warning the prison that Cuban inmates would be sent back to Cuba.
Those confined to our nation's prison represent a wide variety of people and a wide variety of crimes. Some feel there is one group that could have avoided confinement if their problems were diagnosed early and treatment provided. Donna Lacey tells us about these individuals as she begins her special report tonight, Criminal or Victim. Donna?
Don, they are called developmentally disabled offenders. They are handicapped, often in unnoticeable ways, and for the most part, they've fallen through the cracks of the criminal justice system. They are largely unidentified as having a problem. They have got no help for that problem, and those circumstances have met with sometimes tragic results.
I remember beating her. I beat her probably for about 10 minutes around the face, and the chest, and the neck.
9 years ago in Utica, 34-year-old William Janone stabbed and beat to death a prostitute. Now serving a 12.5 to 25-year sentence for first-degree manslaughter, Janone says the killing was the result of mounting frustration and a bad drinking problem. The drinking problem was rooted in the frustration, he says, and the frustration stemmed from a low self-esteem and his inability to fit into the mainstream.
I've always had a low opinion of myself, always wanted to die, because I didn't feel anybody wanted me around or needed me or anything.
Janone's low esteem and adjustment problems hint at another reason for his life of crime. Tested and found to have a 7th grade intelligence level, Janone wears the label developmentally disabled. What exactly is a developmental disability? Though the state and federal definitions differ, it is basically defined as a disability due to mental retardation, cerebral palsy, autism, neurological impairment, or epilepsy. The disability usually occurs before age 22. The developmentally disabled person, the DD person, for the most part, looks no different from most of us, but their handicap makes it difficult for them to function normally in society. Though they represent no more than 3% of the general population, they make up 10% of the prison population.
It's I'm gonna like you down.
But the last statistic is one that can only be estimated because, for the most part, the DD offender is just another inmate in jail, unidentified as having a handicap, and therefore never helped.
I think probably by and large they were lost in the system. They were certainly there, but there wasn't any individual or agency that was designated to work with this population.
It is the DD offender like Janone, not physically handicapped and not appearing at all retarded or slow, who most easily fall through the cracks. Janone's manslaughter charge tops a list of DWI and arson charges he's faced. But though institutionalized at some point for his drinking problem, his developmental disability was never identified.
One of the problems was with the short resources in terms of county mental health, who are we giving service to? It was only because we got the demonstration grant that we were able to put full-time services in here right now.
Like Janone, most DD offenders have been in jail again and again, usually beginning with smaller crimes, then moving on to serious charges. If they are unidentified, it is difficult, if not impossible, for the criminal justice system to stop the crime cycle. When things escalate, it is often too late.
Billy was never a tough kid. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Not a tough. Matter of fact, he was kind of a gentle boy. But he got himself in a situation that he apparently couldn't handle, and we know the results.
Everything just happened so fast that I still, to this day, ask myself questions about what happened that night. Why? I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer it myself. It's all I know is that my life was taken that night, and I did it.
Like Janone, most DD offenders are males. 95% are. Most have complicated their disability with drug or alcohol use. And most, unlike Janone, did not finish high school. They are slow and naive, and that early innocence makes them easy prey for other criminals who often begin them in their life of crime.
Okay, Donna, I know the report's going to continue tomorrow. What will the focus be tomorrow night?
Because they are easily led astray, we'll look at how the mentally disabled person becomes the DD offender.
Okay, thank you, Donna.
Still ahead tonight, how the town of Perrington has solved the busing problem.
And later, a festival of trees at the Riverside Convention Center.
Jack.
What's up, Cinderella?
Surprise.
That's me.
That's you.
That's Gus. That's us.
When you buy a $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates, you'll get something extra. Either a free Gus or Jack, the two adorable mice from Walt Disney's classic movie Cinderella, now playing in theaters everywhere. They make great gift decorations, fun ornaments, and cuddly play pals. You can get either Gus or Jack with a $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates.
And happy holidays from Jack, from Gus, and us.
Chevy Truck Month is here.
This is the all-new Chevy full-size pickup with more power and payload than Ford. And I think it's better looking.
Right now, during Chevy Truck Month, you can buy a new full-size or S10 pickup from your Monroe County Chevy dealer and save up to $1,900 on popular options if you buy now. Plus, you'll get this bedliner at no extra charge. With the deals your Monroe County Chevy dealers are giving, the competition will be crushed.
This portion of News Center 13 is brought to you by O'Connor Chevrolet.
Rochester City Council voted tonight on a controversial proposal to rezone land on West Avenue for use as a food bank. The vote came during a special session of council.
One by one, they took to the microphone to basically tell City Council one of three things: that Rochester's hungry need the food bank.
I know various churches that have soup kitchens that use the food bank, and it's really needed.
That residents in the area need a grocery store.
Wegmans supermarket there is large enough to be divided into half. You know, the grocery store and the food bank for the need to meet the service of the other people.
So it's or that rezoning the land could eventually bring down the neighborhood.
The rezoning to C3 would be a step backward to allow an intrusion of a more intensive commercial district adjacent to a residential district.
The controversy sprang up about 7 months ago when Wegmans closed its store on West Avenue and donated the building to the Genesee Valley Food Bank. But the land first needed to be rezoned. A planning committee and the 19th Ward Community Association opposed the food bank. They wanted a guarantee that a portion of the building would house a retail store. There was no guarantee. Tonight, the issue was settled. In a 7-to-1 vote, council decided to rezone the land for the food bank.
Yes. I think in time the residents will understand it's not a defeat, and my own opinion is that it's 1987 that we live in, and communities have changed an awful lot. We've deinstitutionalized people. We no longer warehouse people in these out-of-the-way places. They live in our communities amongst us now. Food banks are a relatively new phenomenon, and they've come into existence over the last 10 years.
I was disappointed that the vote was 7-to-1. But I expected it to.
We were never opposed to the food bank ourselves. I think the important thing is that there also was a resolution, I think, that holds the city accountable in some ways for working with the neighborhood and the food bank to also try to find a resolution to the food store controversy in the area, so that there would also be hopefully the development of a food store in the neighborhood. And so.
Councilwoman Maxine Childress Brown says she voted against the rezoning because there was not enough community input. She faulted Wegmans for that, and she also cited the need for a sizable food store in the area. Councilwoman Glenn King was absent. And Don, in other unrelated items, City Council passed an ordinance granting free parking downtown during the holiday season.
Okay, they do it almost every year, but it brings some more people down. Yes. Another transportation item settled this time out in the suburbs. It appears at least for the next 2 school years, Fairport school children will not have to walk dangerous routes to school. Tonight, Parenton's Town Board passed a resolution to provide busing for 300 students who are dropped from state busing rolls. A state law allows busing only for distance, not because of hazardous roads. And effective this month, some students would have had to walk to school.
Well, I'm very pleased with the decision they made. I'm surprised that they did this. It shows that they are very concerned about the safety of the kids in Fairport. It shows an initiative on their part. They took the initiative. No one really asked them to help. We didn't even consider asking them to help.
Now, that resolution is just temporary emergency action by the town board. It will cost the town $60,000 for the 2 years. Still planned is a school district vote for additional busing and possible legislative action to try and change that state law.
Well, coming up next on News Center 13, a preview of our holiday forecast from meteorologist Bill Peterson.
And later in sports, Doug Embledge with highlights as McQuaid begins a new season looking to repeat their championship.
Nobody beats an O'Connor deal. Just what does that mean? It means nobody beats O'Connor's selection of Chevy cars, trucks, and vans. It means an unbeatable team of sales and service professionals. And it means nobody beats O'Connor's prices. When we say nobody beats an O'Connor deal, we mean business.
Nobody beats an O'Connor deal.
3850 West Henrietta Road.
Bill Peterson and Rochester Television's largest meteorological staff provide you with exclusive information via Rochester's only weather radar system. The 13 Weather Center is your weather source for accurate, understandable forecasts. Still to come on News Center 13.
The neighbor on the right bought the Toro CCR 2000 last year, which prompted his neighbor to the left to get one this year. He soon discovered that it was compact, easy to handle, yet had the power to clear 12 inches of heavy snow. He also discovered that while this Toro with the unique curved rotor would throw snow 30 feet to the left, it would also throw it to the right.
See Toro's hot-selling CCR 2000 while they last at these Toro dealers.
Gold Circle's home sale
has everything you want.
The prices are so low.
It'll make you sing.
Rubbermaid.
Rubbermaid is now 20 to 50% off.
Laundry baskets.
50% off laundry baskets and waste baskets. 30% off Serve and Savers.
Heartland Dinnerware.
All Heartland Dinnerware, flatware, cutlery, and accessories 20 to 30% off. 20-piece set, $39.99. Hurry to Gold Circle's home sale.
It's more for your home for less.
Regis, when you're ready for a change.
This portion of News Center 13 is brought to you by Dick-eyed Pontiac Honda Yugo.
Meteorologist Bill Peterson is here with our forecast.
It is. It has been mild, Wanda. In fact, it is more like, as we said, September than it is November. It is almost December. No snow in the forecast for the immediate future, but what could be a lot of rain could really start coming down fairly heavily toward morning and continue through most of tomorrow and tomorrow night. The almanac today, our high temperature, 52 degrees. That actually occurred last night. It was mild. 44 was our low during the day because temperatures did drop. Well, we're a bit cooler than that now. Under cloudy skies, our new 11 p.m. temperature, 41 degrees. 80% the humidity. Winds have switched from the northwest now. That should cool us down a bit, and our pressure is steady. Throughout western New York, we are mainly in the 40s, but a little bit cooler down through the Finger Lakes with temperatures in the 30s. North of the lake, also in the 30s. Jamestown at 37, and Albany now at 43 degrees. You can get a good idea of what is going on the northeast satellite. We do have in through this area now heavier clouds that have moved in. In fact, we do have some showers showing up. If we go to live Rochester radar now, we've got just a couple of showers down along the Pennsylvania border, right under Rochester radar, and then over to the southwest also. These showers will begin to slowly drift to the northeast up and through our viewing area. It looks like early tomorrow morning we'll start to see some rain. It could turn heavy as the day wears on. I wouldn't be surprised to see an inch to an inch and a quarter of rain around our viewing area. The U.S. view of the satellite, you can see this rather extensive weather system. Let's put it in right away. There are two low pressure systems, one down through Oklahoma, the other back in Texas, both of them pumping up moisture. It mixes with this cold air coming to the north, and this entire area Both of these lows will slide along this front, pumping moisture up into western New York, and the rain will be with us tomorrow night, and into Thursday morning when things will begin cooling off, possibly mixing with a little bit of wet snow. Things will change going into Thanksgiving, but our temperatures are going to be fairly mild for the next few days. Here's tomorrow's map. Again, notice the low still sliding to the northeast. However, it is still just back to the west. This bubble of warm air sort of out ahead of it. We will see the rain develop here very early tomorrow morning, but it looks like now between about 6 and 7 a.m. As the system sort of slides right over the Rochester area, we'll keep the rain in through Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and then finally as that low moves to the east, our rain will come to an end during the day on Thursday. Could, with that colder air coming in, being brought in for that northerly wind flow, mixed with a little wet snow, particularly in the hills down around the Finger Lakes, and of course the system continues to move to the east. High pressure comes in, clears us out a bit Thursday night, but another front looks like it will be in here probably Friday night. That one could cool us off a bit going into the weekend. We will see increasing and thickening clouds tonight, southeast winds, temperatures down in the 30s. For tomorrow, looks like now the rain will start fairly early in the morning. Southeast winds. Our highs tomorrow, 42 to 47 degrees. For Wednesday night, rain will continue. Temperatures 33 to 38. And on Thursday, a lingering shower or two, possibly a peek at the sun in the afternoon. High temperatures around 40. The rain, Wanda, could be heavy at times, and we may see some of that what we call drainage-type floodings in the underpasses, you know, that fill up with water, those types of things. So you might want to be advised and be on the lookout for that.
Will it dry out a little bit by Thursday?
Thursday afternoon, possibly. Yeah.
Okay, so could be a little soggy headed to Grandma's this Thanksgiving.
Over the river and through the woods in a boat.
Yes. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
We have reports now that there is a man with a gun in a house in Pittsford.
Some of the roads have been blocked off in that area. We're talking about the Pittsford-Mendon Road. The initial report coming in that a man was threatening someone in that home. We're not sure if he is out or if everyone is out at this point. Gary Nuremberg is standing by via 13 Live in Pittsford. Gary, have you been able to find out much at this point?
Boy, I've been trying, Don, but Monroe County Sheriff's deputies, who are usually known for their restraint, are not giving any lessons in courtesy here this evening. They're obviously very, very worried about a situation that they can't yet define at 1285 Pittsford-Mendon Road. I'm standing at the corner of Smith and 64. As you can see, it's closed off going south. There's another roadblock in the Mendon Four Corners area which closes 64 off going north. Sergeant Martin of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is at the scene of the house. He threw us out a few minutes ago, Don, saying only that they have reports of a man with a gun there. We heard them on the speaker system from their sheriff's deputy's car asking him to come out, telling him that they want very badly to see him. At this point, Don, we probably should not tell you how many people we've seen here with the Sheriff's Department, only to tell you they're very, very concerned that they've closed traffic on Route 64, and we're waiting now to find out further details.
Gary, do we have any idea whether there are hostages in the house with the man? Anything in that way?
Wanda, they're saying very, very little. Even to have them admit to us that there is a man with a gun, or reports of man with a gun, was very difficult. I'm afraid I'd have to tell you that that's only speculation at this point. They're saying nothing right now.
Okay, thank you very much, Gary, and we'll check back if anything changes with that situation again out on the Pittsford-Mendon Road at this time. Now, let's take a look at sports. Doug Ebler standing by. Tell us what's going on.
We have a lot coming up, getting ready for another basketball season at McQuaid High School, and an NHL heavyweight is leaving the Edmonton Oilers. News Center 13 Sports is coming up next.
Coffee shoots, scores! What a cross-check Hospodar gives to Anderson in front of the net, and as he gives him the cross-check, he just moved away, cleared the zone enough for the hard shot.
Now this car's a real steal. Here, let me get around you, and I'll make you a deal you can't refuse.
Nowadays, most dealers just won't give you enough room to make a deal.
Squeeze, please. Watch your knees.
But here at Dick-eyed Pontiac Honda Yugo, we give you lots of room. We're the in-place to come to make buying a car fun and easy. Don't get squeezed out of a good deal. See Dick-eyed, and he'll make sure you get the kind of deal that won't squeeze you or your pocketbook.
Let's talk about seafood, shall we? Well, our conversation needn't go much further than Run's $7.95 Surf and Turf Buffet. You see, Run's loads their buffet with wonderful meat and seafood entrees, shrimp and crab meat salads with all the garnishes. So if you like to relax and chat over some delicious seafood, come to Ted Run's Seafood Wharf, Run's Periwinkle Pub, or Run's on the Ridge for their $7.95 Surf and Turf Buffet. In our town, it's Run's for seafood since 1906. Now, aren't you glad we talked?
So what's little dandruff?
Okay, Imagine you're at the social event of the year, and your dream girl says hello, just as you do this. Her first impression? What a hunk. And only a few flakes.
Give me a break.
The breaks are you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
So?
So regular shampoos won't fix your problem. Try this.
Head and Shoulders? But you don't have dandruff.
Bingo.
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Time now for a look at sports with Doug. We're going to talk about basketball. McQuaid going for, what, this would be 2 in a row?
Yeah, this would be a second in a row. They weren't really expected to win it last year, but they did. High school basketball about to begin, and one of the teams carrying the weight of those lofty preseason expectations is McQuaid. The Knights are the defending AAA champs, and their big guns are back. The Knights will start a front line of Villanova-bound Greg Woodard at 6'6", 6'11" center Scott Martzloff, who will attend Holy Cross, and 6'8" junior Drew Henderson under Coach Joe Marchese. Henderson, a transfer from Harley.
I take a little bit of burden off of both of them in the rebounding and everything. And Greg and Scott both need, they get to work on their offensive more, knowing that I'm there for an offensive rebound when they need it.
The pressure is always on the preseason favorite, a different kind of pressure for McQuaid. Last year, they knocked off the favored East High team twice and then went on to surprise people by winning it all.
It's a lot different. There's a lot more pressure on us, and everyone expects us to win. Last year, no one expected us to win it, and we did. So it was easier last year, I think.
We have to attribute a lot to our the guys who you don't see in the game as much. Guys on the bench, they play hard every practice. They play hard against us, very aggressive. So we'll be used to that. Then when we face it in the game, we'll be able to, hopefully handle that.
Some Thanksgiving tournaments start, well, they'll be this weekend. Others will start their seasons next week. An upset tonight in top 10 college basketball. Number 2 Purdue loses to Iowa State 104-96. In the NBA, Detroit at the Summit to play the Rockets in the first quarter. Isaiah Thomas works off the screen, hits the jumper. He scored his 10,000th career point tonight. In the third quarter, leading the Pistons in scoring was Vinnie Johnson. Picks up the loose ball, and he goes in for the layup as Detroit wins fairly easily tonight, 97-83. The rest of the NBA, Philly over Cleveland, 108-104. New Jersey is trailing Denver big in the third, and it is Washington leading Utah in the third. The Sabres tap the Amerks Defense Corps again today. Bob Halkitis goes to Buffalo to fill in for Phil Housley, who is out for at least a week with a back injury. One in the AHL tonight. It's tied in the third between Fredericton and Utica. The Amerks face Moncton tomorrow at the War Memorial. In the NHL tonight, Toronto and New York out on the island in the third period. The puck gets loose from the tie-up in the quarter. New York's Thomas Janssen is there to put it in and tie the game at 3. Later, Toronto's Al Iafrate skates in on Billy Smith. His shot goes off the skate of Islander Ken Morrow, and the Toronto goes on to win it tonight, 4-3, the final. A big trade in the NHL this afternoon. Holdout defenseman Paul Coffey traded by Edmonton to Pittsburgh. Coffey's been honored twice as the league's best defenseman. 2 years ago, he scored 48 goals, a record for a defenseman.
Early in the penalty, and they tried to rush.
We knew Coffey was going to go. It's unfortunate, but that's professional sports, and it's unfortunate because one guy didn't want to play here, that two aren't playing here, but the positive side is we got a good bunch of young guys. And
7 players in all part of this deal. Coffey, winger Dave Hunter, and former Amerk Wayne Van Dorp going to Pittsburgh in return for Craig Simpson and 3 others. College hockey tonight, Hamilton over Brockport, Colgate over Geneseo. 5-way tie in the AFC East. The Bills can really help their cause by beating division rivals like the Dolphins on Sunday. 56,000 tickets have been sold for the Miami game. Shane Conlon's been named the Old Spice Rookie of the Week for a second time this season. Oklahoma on top in the AP College football poll. Syracuse is now 4th. They, of course, headed to the Sugar Bowl. That's sports.
Okay, thank you, Deb. Well, still ahead, we'll tell you about a festival of trees at the Riverside Convention Center.
And Bill will have his wake-up forecast next.
Discover
Discover the 1988 Sedan DeVille and discover why the only way to travel is in Cadillac style. Experience the contemporary elegance of 6-passenger luxury with superb comfort, smooth, responsive power, and confident performance. The new 1988 Sedan DeVille. Test drive it today.
Cadillac Network, we've got it all.
Now's the time for you to get the things that you need. 'Cause North Star's got the best road for you guaranteed. We give all of our managers authority to make your loan as fast and easy as can be. We make American dreams come true. We put the green into the last white and blue. Well, North Star, and we've got money for you.
How do you make a kabuki smile? Lipton introduces Oriental Treasures Herbal Teas. Oriental Treasures Herbal Teas. Fruits, herbs, spices from Lipton.
It is a night of family, friends, and freshenettes. Cordon Negro Brut. The black bottle bubbly.
We are now going to go back out live to Gary Nuremberg, where there are reports of a man in a house with a gun.
Okay, Gary, have you been able to learn anything more? I know it's been difficult out there tonight.
Yeah, Don and Wanda, it's happening right now. About a mile south of Smith on 64, we're told the man who was in the house with his 2 children is, as we speak, leaving the premises and coming into the custody of Monroe County Sheriff's deputies. That's exactly what's happening at this point. The next determination to be made is the status of the children inside the home. Police officers will enter the home to make sure they're okay. We simply don't know. There are no reports of gunshots fired, but it does appear that this standoff is now, as we speak, coming to an end. Of course, as soon as they let us back in, we'll go in and get some pictures for you and have a full report for you on our newscast tomorrow.
Okay, and we'll have that in the morning cut-ins beginning with Good Morning America.
Thank you, Gary.
Well, finally, in the news tonight, the Rochester Junior League sponsored a gala preview tonight of their annual Festival of Trees. The lower level of the Riverside Convention Center has been transformed into a winter wonderland. Various businesses and organizations have donated their own decorated special trees, so to speak, which the Junior League says is their gift to all.
Well, we feel that this is a gift for the community in the sense that it can involve the whole family, from the children's boutique to the holiday boutique that we have for shopping, and all the trees that are available for purchase for people to enjoy throughout the holiday season.
Proceeds from admissions and the sale of the trees will be used to fund a variety of Junior League community projects, and that will run through Sunday at the Convention Center, with the exception of Thanksgiving Day, when they'll be closed.
We'll have to get Bill down there and sprinkle some artificial snow around.
Yeah. That's the only kind we're going to get for a while. It will be wet tomorrow. We will see some rain. Temperatures, Wanda, will be in the 40s both in the morning and the afternoon, and again, up to an inch to an inch and a quarter of rain. Certainly a possibility tomorrow.
Okay, Bill, thank you.
Yeah.
And a reminder more on that situation out in Pittsburgh tomorrow morning on our morning news. Also, a reminder to stay tuned for Carol Burnett next on 13.
And later, ABC News Nightline with Ted Koppel. We thank you much for watching.
People like you like Kerner for a lot of reasons, like our sales staff. We start with the best, and they work hard to serve you better. And people like us for the atmosphere, clean and comfortable. Kerner's a nice place to shop. If you're looking for a car or truck, we've got them. So whether it's our sales staff, our comfortable showroom, or the cars and trucks we sell, remember,
UV Shoes announces our 10-20-30 sale on comfort shoes with savings to 30%. UV Shoe sells only comfort shoes, and we have your exact size and width. Buy one pair this week and get 10% off. Buy a second pair and get 20% off that pair. Buy a third pair and get 30% off your third pair. Bring a friend and team up for extra savings. Give year-round comfort as a gift or buy a pair for your aching feet for the holiday shopping. Buy this week and save 10, 20, 30%.
Comfort really counts. UV Shoes.
Catholic Family Center, making life better in our community.
Carol Burnett and Friends, starring Carol Burnett, with Harvey Korman, Vicki Lawrence, Lyle Waggoner, and her guest, Paul Sand.
How do you make a kabuki smile? Lipton introduces Oriental Treasure's herbal teas. Oriental Treasure's herbal teas, fruits, herbs, spices from Lipton.
Through the years, the mothers of America have had a kind of medical training.
Next.
They've learned from countless doctors and pharmacists that the way to take care of a cough is with Robitussin. And now at home, the mothers of America are putting this advice to work.
Next.
Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Which Robitussin is right for you? Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
Trying to please every single taste with one frozen vegetable can be a big waste. Trying to please every single schedule with one frozen vegetable can be a big waste, too. But Stokely Singles, single-serve frozen vegetables that cook in their own containers, can be a big help without the big waste. Because with Stokely Singles, all you throw away is this. Stokely Singles, for every single taste, every single time.
Come see for yourself. Jack Greco's Oak and Brass. There's no other furniture store like it.
You'll discover expertly crafted solid wood dining furniture, the finest antique reproductions, beautiful brass beds, solid oak bedrooms, and New York State's largest selection of oak entertainment centers and office furniture.
Come see for yourself. Jack Greco's Oak and Brass. Village Gate, Park Avenue, Scottsville Road, and soon Main Street, Canandaigua.